Hello everybody, this is Tezlon. Welcome aboard the Train of Thought, where we look at various concepts and transport fever and kick the bull off the tracks. You will have nothing to beef about because we will not steer you wrong. So now we start the next round of simulations with the 8 cargo cars, and about to put the single 8 out on the track. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, line 2. And we get to see if it can, on this flat terrain, keep its lead, or is the added weight just going to prove too much for it? We will see. I will be back in 18 years. And here we go, the finish for the single 8 on flat terrain. I want you to watch how long it takes this engine to get up to full speed. It's only at 24. It's 67% through the route before it gets up to 25. So it's definitely giving those dual engine setups a chance to make up some income on it. So I don't know if it's going to win this one. 6 cars, it was the star by a little bit. 8 cars may just be a little bit too much for that engine to pull. Or at least it's starting to lose efficiency. It's obviously making money. It's still making money. It's down to only 700,000 in loans, so it's even performing the 6-car setup. But I also think, even though it's beating itself with 6 cars, I think it's leaving a little gap for the dual engine scenarios to beat it out, because it's taken so much longer to get up to top speed that it's given them a little window of opportunity there to cut into its income. And the question will be, can it get down to 200,000 in this last year and a half? I think there's an outside chance it pays it all off, but I don't think that's going to happen. It still has a loan and 40% of the next one to pay off. It's only at 70K. Nope. But maybe it'll get one last loan paid off here, because it's making over 300,000 a trip. Now it gets up to speed a little faster on the way here, which tells us that as it goes back to the oil well, there's a very slight uphill incline. So watch this again as it comes out of the refinery, how long it takes to get up to 25 miles an hour. This was kind of surprising to me. I think we have it right on the edge of its pulling power, and when we tack 2 more cars on it, I think its performance is really going to degrade a lot, but we'll see. Okay, 1 year to go. He'll get to drop off 2 more loads of cargo. And I think that'll be enough. I think what will happen is, as he comes down here, when he hits the refinery again, he may pay off that last loan. I'm predicting that's what will happen. It'll be pretty close though. still not at top speed. Man, that is a long way. It's only a couple miles an hour difference, but that really adds up when it's repetition after repetition after repetition. Those double engine jobs are, I think they're going to beat it this time. Oh, now I'm wondering if he's even going to get the loan paid off. He may not. $374. As long as he gets in here with about 170 to 180,000, he'll pay off the loan. So he's going to do it. The maintenance charge isn't going to be that high. He should pay it off when he hits here, and then we'll see how much he has left over. Definitely better than the 8 cars. I think this is a little bit surprising to me as well, because everything I've seen people talk about and hear people say on YouTube is the ideal starter train is 6 and 7 cars, and here I'm finding out that on flat terrain that's not true. This 8 car run's definitely outperforming the 6 car run. So whether the ideal is 7 or 8, maybe even 9, I'm kind of thinking not 9, because he's not hitting full speed. Watch coming back. He just hit full speed right here, just beyond the halfway point. So I think either 7 or 8 is the ideal configuration. I don't know which one between the two. When I'm all done with this, I may go back and test 7 car against 8 car consists and see which one is actually the best. But 8 so far is definitely proving superior to 6 if you don't have a lot of terrain. When it's nearly flat, 8 is yielding much better results. So here we go. He's going to pay off this loan. No! Does a truck hit? If a truck hits before it flips over. There we go. He got it. The truck gave him the 500,000. And that's it. We're just going to subtract out interest. We're going to have to, he'll finish in the negative, but he's under $500,000 in loans by the time he's done. And so he ends up minus 74.2. And he had 200 left. So he's at negative 272.4K. And now we move on to the train with dual engines and 8 cars and see if it can beat this performance. It came in slightly behind with the 6 cars. For the first time it didn't win. Let's see how it does flat and 8. And now it's time for the double 8. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So both the single and the double start off with 3.2 million in loans. But with a little bit more room to work against the single with those 8 cars, before it get out to top speed, can the double 8 reassume its superiority? And how are those twin 4s going to do? Because I'm just thinking at some point as we get longer and the loads get bigger, that initial startup on the twin 8 is going to kick in and give it a boost. But maybe I'm wrong. Back in 18. The dual 8, let me turn the sound down, has just paid off a loan. He's down to only 200,000 left, so he should be completely loan free before the game's over. he is back on top of the game, unless the twin fours beat him. He's definitely beating the single engine 8. And I showed you how long it took for that single engine to get up to speed. Now I'm going to start when he comes back and makes the next lap. Let's look at how long it takes him in comparison. That will explain why he's able to outperform that single engine. And will he pay off the loan this time? I don't think so. Not quite. On the way back, he'll pay off the last loan, and he's going to finish off with either little or very little. Either no debt, or maybe he'll just be a little bit in the red, but not much. I think he's going to finish out cash in his pocket here. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure of it. Because he's not going to have any interest at all come December 31st. And he's down to only 5,000 now, so it's not really that much to begin with. He's going to tack on another $330,000 here when he hits the refinery. But look how quickly he made 25. He's 25 back in here, whereas the other guy, the single engine, took way out to here, and now that's enough of a distance difference in reaching top speed that he's able to take economic advantage of. And thus he so far is in the lead in this scenario. He's going to have no trouble getting into the refinery before the year turns over. And he's loan free with a little money in his pocket. Let's see if he finishes in the positive. I think he should. Yep. No interest, just maintenance costs at the end of the year. And he's going to finish with a little money. Here we go. 19.2 in the green. Good job, double 8. No loans at all. So now one last competitor to go. The twin engines so far haven't outperformed the double. But this is flat terrain, and we'll just have to see what happens. It had the additional loan to pay off, but so far it hasn't really been trailing by that much, so this is going to be another close finish here. Let me go over and get the twin fours going and see how they do. Last but not least, the twin fours. Put him out. And he's going to need 3.7 million in loans to get up and running. Let me get train number 1 out on the track. See how close I want to start it right in this area. So look at this. Just crossing midway, down to 200,000. A little bit more money in the bank and farther down the track at the same point in time than the double 8 was. So I would say right now these twin 4s are actually in the lead as far as this simulation run goes. Because I think they're going to pay off their loan right now. There we go. They have a whole nother run to make, and they're going to end up winning this, hands down. Not by a whole lot, especially when you look at the fact that it's over a 20-year period. But right now, I'm wondering, one of the cool things about doing tests like this is you see results that don't make sense until you look at them and start seeing why maybe things are going on the way they are. And oftentimes they make you want to test other things to see how all these different variables relate to each other. And I'm wondering, having that second car come out and have freight on it already, because this track is 12 minutes instead of 10, if carrying that initial freight and getting this whole system up and running just a little bit quicker because of that is the benefit of that a function of distance. And so the longer our track is, the greater benefit it is for the twin engines. Now this is something that's only ever going to happen when you're first starting a route. If you already have an established route, I don't expect there to be any difference in performance between the twin trains and the single long train with a double car, other than interaction with other trains on that line. But here there's a definite difference in how these systems are coming up to full speed, and we're going to see it again in the simulation runs with 10 cars. And if the twin 5s beat out the double 10, then after this whole phase is done, I may tack on another test just with between doubles and twins, and extend the initial line out to like maybe 16 or 17 minutes and see if that further increases the advantage of the twin cars. Simply because I want to know for when I start up a line. And here we go. It ends up, it didn't win by much, but it won by a little. 71.9 in the green. And it also is going to continue that advantage as it has a slight lead. But I really think I'm going to add on one other set of tests here at the end of phase 1, where I'm just going to extend the line out. If this same thing happens with the 10 car runs, which will be coming up next, I'm going to look at changing the distance out farther and see for an initial startup if that gives the twin engine even a greater advantage, because that's something I would definitely use in my own games to know that. So I think I've just extended the great engine configuration test to one more scenario I want to evaluate as well in phase 1 here. So I will wrap this up right now and go put all the numbers on a single sheet. And well, actually, you know what? I'm not, because the next thing I'm going to do is put 10 cars on each track, and we'll try it with 10 cars. Then I'll wrap it up and look at all 3 comparisons, because I'm wondering, pretty certain with 10 cars that single engine is going to see performance degrade even more, and a little bit more separation between it and the double scenarios. But I don't know who's going to win between the double trains. I'm kind of thinking now that twin 5 is going to beat the double 10. So that's going to be the next thing coming up. Stay tuned.